guys, welcome to my first ever channel. Bear with me if my videos are a little bit weird since I'm not a very good editor. For today I will be cooking fried rice with Chinese sausage. This is a very good recipe if you have leftover rice lying around. I would recommend this recipe. You're gonna need light soy sauce, oyster sauce, dark soy sauce, white pepper, and a little bit of salt, basically. So all these ingredients you can pretty much find in your local Chinese supermarket. Normally, if you don't want to spend extra, you don't have to literally do light soy sauce and dark soy sauce. But, just for the completion of this recipe, I decided to do both, which is the light soy sauce and the dark soy sauce. But normally, you don't necessarily need to get both. You can just use whatever you have in stock, basically. Now for the other ingredients that I used the scallions. Obviously not all of this, but this one I just newly bought. This one is the Chinese sausage that I'll be putting on the fried rice. This one as well, you can buy it on the Chinese supermarket. And of course, peas. This recipe is very good if you have leftover rice. I'm going to be using plain rice today. And then these ones are chopped scallions and chopped Chinese sausage. I used one scallion and 2 Chinese sausages. And this is the pre-prepped sauce for the rice, which is 1 teaspoon light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon dark soy sauce, a pinch of salt, a pinch of white pepper, and 1 teaspoon oyster sauce as well. And also I added 2 teaspoons of water to dilute everything. And finally, of course, the green peas that I pretty much put in water, warm water, so it's not frozen. How much I used for the ingredients as well. So for the Chinese sausage, I used 2 Chinese sausages, which I cut in smaller pieces. For the scallions, I only used 1, which obviously as well I cut in smaller pieces. I did not add any garlic, ginger, or onions in this recipe. You could add them if that's what you want, but I didn't see the need to because I wasn't working with raw meat. So I didn't really need the garlic, onions, and ginger in this recipe. But if you prefer that you want the extra kick, the extra flavor, you can add that on as well. After that, I also, for the green peas, I also did half a cup of green peas. For the sauces, I added 1 teaspoon of oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon of light soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of dark soy sauce, a pinch of white pepper, and a pinch of salt. So, and of course, 2 teaspoons of water. Just to dilute everything, basically. So I just wanted to let you guys know the measurements that I did in the beginning. My recipe calls for light soy sauce, and dark soy sauce. Normally, if you're not willing to get 2 of the soy sauce, it's not mandatory that you need both. But the reason why the dark soy sauce is included is just to make the rice more brown. It basically gives it that brown color. So if you prefer not to kind of binge buy, I guess, if you don't want to buy an extra soy sauce and you don't really need it and you don't think it's necessary, you don't necessarily need to get dark soy sauce. It's just there to make the rice brown, like the typical fried rice Chinese sausage, which is brown. But personally, I wanted mine brown just to make it a little bit more authentic looking. So that's the reason why I myself got the dark soy sauce. But if you prefer that you don't want to add that in, then you can just, leave that out. Now the first thing you gotta do for this recipe is obviously put the oil in the pan and heat it up, basically. So wait until it heats up to make sure, obviously, before you put any ingredients in, make sure that it does warm up a little bit before you put anything in first. Once the heating up is done for the oil, you add the scallions and the Chinese sausage, fry them up and make sure that they're fragrant before you add in the rice and the green peas. So let me do that and show you, and then we can go from there. So I'm just gonna start putting in the first ingredients. So now you can hear that sizzle. Make sure that when you put your first ingredients in, you do hear the sizzle. And we're just gonna cook this until you can smell the fragrant smell of the scallions and the Chinese sausage. Now that you see this one cooked up and you smell the fragrance, we're gonna add in the rice. And we're gonna add the peas in here. Just make sure you keep stirring, just so the rice underneath doesn't burn up. So we've done that. We're just gonna add in our little bit of pre-prepped sauce. Now keep in mind that the measurements for the sauces aren't exactly like it has to be teaspoons or 1 teaspoon. If you find that you need a little bit more color in your rice, you can just add more. You can re-add like another teaspoon of each sauce, like oyster sauce and light soy sauce, dark soy sauce. So as long as you get that desired brown color, it should be fine. As I said before, in terms of light soy sauce and dark soy sauce, you don't necessarily need dark soy sauce. You can just stick to light soy sauce, but the dark soy sauce does give it that brown color. So it's up to you. If you somehow you cannot find dark soy sauce or whatever, you can just stick to the light soy sauce. As you can see, it's a little bit brown, but I do want to make it a little bit darker. So I'm gonna add another teaspoon of each measurement, just because I want it a little bit darker, and also I want to make sure the measurements are equal. I don't want to add too much or too little of each sauce, and it makes it very salty or it makes it all imbalanced. You can see I'm done, and I did get my desired brown color. Earlier it was a little bit light. I wasn't sure if you kind of saw that through the camera, but now I have that typical fried rice brown color. So the best thing about this is that you don't need to cook new rice. Whatever rice you have in hand, you can just cook it from there. It is best to have already cooked rice or leftover rice that you have use this recipe. At least in my opinion, it makes it different rather than always eating plain rice or the same type of rice every day. At least this is something that you can kind of incorporate in your usual meals to kind of, make it a little bit more different, right? So that's pretty much it for my dinner recipe for the day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching the video, and stay tuned for more videos of whatever food I decide to make again later. Thanks, bye. Guys, so that's the end of my cooking video for the day. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am sorry about the lack of focus for the camera. Unfortunately, I was using my phone camera, so it was a little bit hard to focus on my part. And besides, it's my first video, so hopefully you guys can still see a little bit at least. So make sure to comment down below. Let me know if you guys want any other recipes that you want me to show you. If you want, like, I don't know, suggestions, I'm also open to that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my first ever video. like and comment, subscribe. Let me know how you like the video. I know it's not perfect. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks so much for watching.